Okay, now let's go to charts, the most heart and soul of any technical trader. So when you open a chart, okay, the name of the instrument, whichever you've opened, populates over here. After which comes a set of your favorite chosen time frames. I'll show it to you how you can set this. Then the way you want to plot the price, candlestick, bar charts, Heikin-Ashi, etc., indicators, and some financial aspects. Then there's replay and all over here. Let's focus at this section of the panel. When you want to change the chart, you can either come here, click, this opens, and then you can change the chart like this. You can do it this way, or you need not go and click up there. You need not go and click up there. You just be wherever you are, just say TATA. The moment you type anything, the symbol search opens up. You need not, the two ways. You either click on this, the symbol search opens, or you just click on any alphabet, the symbol search opens. Okay, and then you will see that there are in seconds. This depends on which plan you are. They will give you charts per seconds also. Minutes, hours, days, that is day, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Then there's range of 100 points or 10 points, etc. You can create your own time frame. So if you notice here, I have created 75 minutes, 125 minutes. I can create here. I can say 19 minutes, add. See, 19 minutes comes there. I can of course remove it. I can make it a favorite. You'll notice that I have created 15, 75, daily, weekly, monthly. I've given it a star. And only these 5s are getting populated here. Every time I need not drop down like this. All the 5 are visible on top. If I click on, let's say if I make 19 as my favorite, now you see 19 has come. And so the good thing is when I'm on the chart and then say I'm on the daily, I want to change it to weekly, or I'm on the weekly, I want to change it to 19 minutes. I need not do the drop down. I need not click from here, etc. I just make favorites, and my favorites are populated up here, right? The way you can make the favorites, how many favorites you can select, these all restrictions are eased off as you move ahead, or you take up a better paid plan of TradingView. Next to time frames, I think there's another way in which you can change the time frame. Is just type, let's say you're on the daily chart, you want to do a weekly chart. So you just say 1W. The moment you type 1W and enter, it changes to weekly chart. 1M and you enter, it changes into 1 month. 1D changes into daily chart. So that's another way, but I primarily use the mouse and I click over here to change the time frames. Then there is ways in which you can plot your prices. So bar charts, the classical bar charts, the candlesticks where the body is fully colored, red or green. And then there is hollow candles, which I use because it's quite useful. It gives me the color of the bar based on close. I'm going to show you this to you. Okay. And then there's Heikin-Ashi. There's line chart. Now, if you use line chart, I would strongly suggest. Okay, this is where I must have posted something on Reliance. See, it's giving me an arrow that I had shared a view on Reliance here. Nevertheless, if you're posting line chart, if you're using line chart, do one thing. Click on the line chart, the chart setting comes. And in the type with markers, make it with markers, and you will get the exact highs and lows very easily. Okay, so these are the various ways in which you can use the price representation. You can use range. If you understand range analysis, if you want to, you have to define the range. What kind of range do you want? Accordingly, 10 points or 15 points or 20 points, it will calculate. Over here, it is calculating 10 points range. Okay. Now let's go to the daily chart and let's go to follow candles. And before I show you multiple templates, I want to quickly tell you an important thing, that is right click and settings. Do spend some time in this section. The basic is the symbol, the body of the candle, the borders of the candle, the wick of the candle. Do you want to show the last price or not? The last price. You see this dotted line is the last price. Previous days price, do you want to show? Do you want to show the high and low price? It will show it. Average closing price, that will also show. See, you can see this dotted ash line, gray colored line. This is the average closing price. The bid-ask lines, it will come during live markets. You should always click adjust data for dividends. This should be clicked all the time. Rest will depend on your time frames. Doesn't matter. This this orangish figure will come between 9 to 9:15 for Indian equity markets. This is a pre-open. Status line, most of them will be ticked for you and it's fine. Show buy sell buttons will come over here, red and blue. But as of now, for Indian traders, it's not relevant. Later on, if they tie up with some broker directly, so that we are able to trade via TradingView and not via broker, I don't know if that will happen or not. If it happens for international markets, maybe eventually it will happen for Indian markets also. Then this section will come into play. Okay. Then there's scales. So go through these sections wherein you can plot financials. Let me check, where is it? High-low price levels, indicator name level, financials name level. So all these things are not so necessary, but the ones which are anyways ticked are the ones you'll like to have on your scale. Do not make it too cluttered. Like you have the last price label over here. You can see that. Bid-ask levels, when you click on it, the bid-ask will come over here right next to this red box. Some orange and blue box will come. Appearance, the background, you want solid or you want gradient. I would rather go for solid. Then you want these vertical lines, you want them, do you want them to be dashed or dotted? Do you want which color, and do you want to be making them thicker or thinner, etc. I don't play around with this. This doesn't make too much. Then there's trading and there's events. So show dividends on the chart, show splits on the chart, show earnings on the chart. So if you open, let's say, a Reliance on the stock market, and then down over here you can see earnings. You click on it and you find the earnings and whatever happened, the dividend, what kind of dividend they gave. Of course, this was a split. Of course, this is valid for cash market stocks, and that's why it was not getting populated in the futures chart. Now, last section is how can I plot multiple charts? How can I sync them using TradingView? So depending on your plan, they will allow you to sync to have 2 charts or more than 2 charts. So for 2 charts, I have 2 options. For 3 charts, I have around 6 options. For 4 charts, again 6 options, and so on and so forth. So let's say I say 3 charts. I can have 3 charts vertically like this. This is the one which I like the most. This, nope, big put off for me. This also is nice. In fact, on the other hand, I like this one more. Well, my right hand side is a pretty big one and the other 2 are smaller. But having tried most, I think this makes the maximum sense. If I'm using a 3 charts, if I'm using a 4 charts, then this makes the maximum sense, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to the 3 charts. Now, why will one use multiple charts? One can use multiple charts for the same stock but different time frames. This makes the maximum sense to me. I would like to have on my left hand side monthly, on my middle weekly, on the right hand side, let's say daily. So I'm looking at, yes, so I'm looking at monthly, left hand side, weekly, middle, daily on the right. Reliance in multi time frames makes sense. So if this is your objective, to look at the same stock in 3 different time frames or 4 different time frames, or I don't know, 8 different time frames, you should always click here and click the symbol. Click it. Make sure the symbol is clicked. When the symbol is clicked, and now if I go to Tata Steel, if I click on it, everything becomes Tata Steel in monthly, weekly, daily, combination. The other way where a trader will use multiple charts will be, let's say, if he wants to look at the look at 3 different stocks of the same sector. Let's say you want to look at Infosys, TCS, and HCL Tech. In that case, I would suggest, of course, not to use symbol, deselect it. Then click on one of them, and you can, in that case, what you can do is select interval. Now, when you select interval, all 3 will become the same time frame. So come to the left hand side, I type in fee. Left hand side is Infosys, let's say daily chart. I click on the middle chart and I say TCS. This is a TCS daily chart. On the right hand side, let's say I type Wipro, and this becomes Wipro daily chart. Now, whatever I open in this, the sync is with the interval. So there will be always daily. So the moment I have analyzed daily behavior of Infosys, TCS, and Wipro, and if I click on weekly, all 3 becomes weekly. If I click on monthly, all 3 becomes monthly because I have synced interval. Okay. The best thing which I like about TradingView, this sync part, is that of time. You know what happens is this is primarily used when I have a symbol synced and different time frames. So what I've done is I am looking at Tata's TCS charts in 3 different time frames. I have on my left hand side monthly, I have the weekly in the middle, I have the daily on the right. Okay. Now, because I have clicked on time, and if I go back, I'm looking at the monthly chart, okay, on the left hand side. And let's say if I click on, let's say this part, this high of 2018, the moment I click on my monthly chart, you can see the crosshair on my 2 right hand side charts are synced. So if this is the monthly behavior, or the behavior of price in the monthly, what was the behavior in the weekly comes here. What was the behavior in the daily comes here. So I can clearly understand. This is very powerful, I feel so. Now see what I'll do, I'm going to click on the last candlestick, which is the current. The moment I click on it on the monthly chart, both the weekly and the daily charts will straight away go to the current price. See how it happens. There you go. Wherever I've kept my monthly, it will corroborate, it will sync with the weekly, it will sync with the daily, and whichever time frames you have. This, I feel, is very, very useful, especially for a trader like me who uses the same stock in 3 or 4 different time frames. Once you've created something, I'll not go into indicators today. Let's say once you have created something, generally it comes as unnamed, and it saves itself every 5 or 15 minutes automatically. I would always suggest you click on it and you rename it or give it a name. So let's say test and save it. Whichever template you leave behind while closing the platform, and when you come back and open again, it generally opens the same template which you left behind. The next section we will go in our next sessions will be on indicators. This is really, really powerful because they have a beautiful public library in which beautiful indicators, the same indicator but plotted in a visually more prettier manner, are definitely available. And then the tools over here, the drawing tools, and we'll talk about market profile also. We'll take some time out, some serious amount of time out, and we'll talk about market profile. But before we go there, before we talk about market profile, I'm going to just show you one new thing which TradingView had added. Let's say I'm looking at the chart of TCS, and I see that TCS had come down from this point to this point and now trying to bounce back. So when you look at conventional volumes, you see this is how volumes was in respect to time. Volumes in respect to time. Now I would like to have to look at volumes in respect to price. In which price? So one new thing, we can spend a lot of time in this, but just I'll leave you with just one small thing. The latest thing that they have added is when you come under this section, this tools, click on this, and the one at the bottom, fixed range volume profile. Okay, and when you click on it, I come here, I go all the way down here, and I leave it. The moment I do this, my volume profile is created. I don't need this pink line, I'm getting rid of it. So now you can see between these two price points in this fall, the line of control is essentially 2800. This is where volume profile suggest has seen the maximum cluster of volumes, and of course it is spread in this way. It's got your yellow and blue color, the bid and ask, whether the trade was hit with the bid and whether the trade was hit with the ask or not. It will give you an understanding of the bullishness or the bearishness. But nevertheless, what we want to understand from this is show me that pocket where some serious volumes happened. This was quite shallow. And so we had the sell off. And when we had the bounce back, you see where it faced some resistance here. And then if this continues, we can have some expectation. It's not that it's going to hold every time. This is one nice thing. We can do this in various ways in TradingView. This is just one simple way, and I find of all the volume profile stuff that they have, this is the most this is the one which I use the most. Of course, when I click on it, I can there's nothing to do with the inputs. I can change the way I look at it. I can change the colors, the point of control, developing point of control, and developing VAs. So these are also there. We'll discuss about these things at length. But try and use this week, and later on when we meet again, I'll probably take a full session on the concept of volume profile. But before that, we'll take another session on indicators. We'll take a session on these tools, and we'll also definitely talk about volume profile. Before I leave, once you've created various layouts, if you have not named them, they will come as unnamed, or else it will show the name with which you have created. So recently I created one called the investment. This is primarily for long-term investments using the charts, and this is how it looks like. It's not complete. I'm working at it. Once done, I'm going to show it to all our mentorship traders. I hope this was useful. We'll continue our talk on TradingView. All right, any questions? I think I went a little fast, but let me quickly check. Sir, more on the left side tools, on a different session. Any questions in the discussion that we had today? In TradingView, whatever explanations I've done, I'm gonna upload this on YouTube. Create two separate videos. One, the pre-internet outage, and one, the post-internet outage. And of course, you can look into it. If you have any doubts pertaining to whatever we've discussed today on TradingView, let's interact and over empty chat or messages, and then we'll clear it out. Paper trading in US markets can be done. Yes, paper trades in Indian markets can also be done. As per my understanding, Sujan, let's say I want to buy Maruti. Okay, so if I do right click and if I say trade, create new order, then down here the trading panel opens where there is paper trading. So you connect, okay, and then see my name over here, Abhijit Paul. It's giving in USD. It's a paper trading account is created with an account balance of $100,000 US, nothing much. Okay, and then what I can do, I've not done this, so I'll spend some time next week and check. So let's say, let me try and do this before I sign off today. So let's say I say right click, and if I say trade settings, okay, show orders, show positions, okay, show buy sell buttons, okay. And let's say if I say buy at 7826, one quantity of Maruti, and I say buy, order rejected off trading session, okay. So we'll try this during market hours on Monday. Let's try this. In the meantime, you can create this at your end. You just create this, get the buttons ready, and we'll give it a shot on Monday in Indian markets. In Apple, if I do it right now, will it let me buy? Let me check. If I buy one Apple, yes, executed, placed. There you go, Sujan. You can see here, I've bought Apple right here, executed. This is a paper trade. Are you sure you want to close the position? Yes, close the position. All right. We'll check this. I'm quite sure Monday during live markets, it will work on Indian markets as well. Paper trading amount we can change in Indian market money, sir. I doubt. I have to check. I have not spent much time in paper trades because paper trades करने का उम्र मेरा और नहीं है. I don't have the age to do paper trades anymore. So I have to check. So it should be here. Reset paper trading account, no. Commission settings, no. Trade settings. How to use paper trading, it will be interesting. Trade settings, when you come to trade settings, it will give this part. I don't think so. Maybe it will be fixed at 100,000. So what you do is come to this settings and go to how to use paper trading. I'd like to trade TradingView as an essential. So take a look. I'll also spend some time so that I can, not only do I know, but I'll help you to understand these concepts. But as of now, prima facie, it looks like that 100,000 is fixed. Doesn't matter whether it's 100,000 or 200,000 because these are paper trades to check your analysis and your trades. Okay. Okay, so that's it. I'll sign off. Monday morning we'll meet. Monday morning when we meet, we're going to talk about trades. We will discuss them and extend our trades next week. Okay. Thanks for joining in and thanks for your wishes again. Good night and take care of yourself. God bless.